Hello Leo, my name is Alison and you are with Healing Dove Tarot. Leo, as you can tell, I haven't pre-shuffled your cards. It's a slightly different format this week. The reason being is that recently someone accused me of being fake because I don't shuffle on camera. Now, those of you that have been with me from the beginning would know that I used to record the whole shebang. You know, the invocation, calling in spirit, shuffling on camera, the whole lot, everything bar my meditation, which I do for every sign before I record. It was great to share that with you, but it just took a really long time. And if I'm honest, like I do that in my personal readings, and some of them, they blow out to like 2 hours. For a weekly reading, I wanted to be sharp, to the point. So I would do all of that, but I would only record when we actually got to the reading. You know, this comment, which I have pinned on the Capricorn post from last week, really bothered me. And not because, you know, it was an attack at me, because I know my truth. I know who I am as a psychic intuitive and what I bring to the table. But more importantly, because when you make a comment like that so flippantly, you take into question every single beautiful soul that has come and found my channel, that subscribes weekly, that hangs in to see what the updates are, and you question that person that's liked that video. You question what they're believing in. And I'm trying to create a community here of people that feel safe and validated and supported in coming in, being vulnerable in some of their biggest challenges in life, and not being questioned or having the seed of doubt put in their mind that what they're hearing isn't true. So although I loathe to give any kind of credence or airtime to negative comments, I will not tolerate anyone or anything that you know, has an effect on my community. I'm going to defend my community to the end. And so today I am going to record the whole process for you so you can watch from beginning to end. And if you find that this is too long for you, do me a favor, go find the Capricorn video and the comment that I've pinned and, you know, say thanks. And if you find that you prefer the format this way because you get to see me shuffle and that's what you need, do the same thing. I will post a poll in the community section so I can ask you guys which format you prefer. But for now, let's get started with your reading. Universe and angels, messages and guides, my higher self, I call upon you now to give me a clear and accurate reading for the sign of Leo in love from the 10th to the 16th of December. Please be with me and tell me what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. I call upon Archangel Michael for security and protection. I call upon Archangel Raphael for healing. And finally, Eddie, my spirit guide, the white dove. Come in, Eddie, let's get it rolling. All right, Leo, you've got some interesting cards wanting to come out. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so really interesting energy actually. There it is. Thank you. I want these ones on this one. Nice. Okay, so Leo, I think your message from last week when it came to love was talking about abundance and good luck. That's kind of that's what you were needing, abundance and good luck, right? What's interesting is as you come into this week, you start off with the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is the kind of the card that speaks about a little bit of boredom, of melancholy, of the status quo. Now, depending on the other cards around it, and that's what as readers we should be doing, looking at the story, not as the individual card, it kind of gives me a picture of where you're at. And I feel like money could be a challenge, okay? As you come into this week, you've got the Four of Cups coupled with the Five of Pentacles. So, you know, what's really interesting is, yes, this is a love reading, but Venus, the planet of love that looks after love, beauty, also looks after wealth and abundance. So they kind of entwine in together. Does that make sense? It's like abundance in in monetary and things that are solid in Pentacles, but also in emotions. They kind of flip between the two. So either you're feeling a little bit despondent in your resources and you're feeling a little bit under pressure, or you're feeling a little bit of lackluster when it comes to your love life. Now, Leo, it can go either way, and maybe I'm reading for two groups of you because I'm seeing two very different stories, but I'll go with the first one that's coming through that seems quite strong. You start off this week with the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups speaks about nostalgia, you know, people from your past. It can represent soulmates. It is a card of soulmates, and people will talk about that. And the reason why this card represents that, if you look at traditional tarot, it's because it's even give and take when it comes to the cups of love, right? It's like they're bringing their 3 cups, you're bringing your 3 cups, and it's a merging of the two souls. For me, it speaks a lot about past lives as well. And again, depending on the other cards that are here, can speak about an even give and take when it comes to what you're putting out into your relationship. Now, this combination, the Five of Pentacles coupled with the Six of Cups, grounded by the Hanged Man in the reverse, means that I feel like you're not seeing things clearly, Leo. For some of you, and I'm going to speak to couples right here, but singles, bear with me because the singles is really good. For some of you, I feel like you're feeling like you're putting too much into this relationship, either emotionally or financially, or perhaps the energy's flipped. The other person's putting in and supporting you at the moment. And perhaps you need to look at things a little bit differently and be grateful, or look at your partner differently and, you know, look at what they're trying to achieve in order to get out of this situation. It's very much a clear picture at the beginning of this week about money being tight. And I think that's affected by your partner, or your partner's a reason for that, Leo. And the invitation here is, if you want a change, if you want to manifest something different, which I do see you doing, but probably not until next week, just before the full moon, then you need to see things in a different light, okay? Now, as you get to the weekend, and I'll come back to the single story in a minute, we have the Three of Pentacles coupled with the Wheel of Fortune. So this is what I mean by seeing things from a different light. The Three of Pentacles is a card for me about teamwork, right? It shows really working together and trying to reach an outcome. And it's Pentacles, so it speaks about things that are tangible, things that can be held and seen and felt and you know, materialized into the real world. And it's coupled with the Wheel. So it could be that you are, you know, the Wheel of Karma is turning in your fate, and maybe your spouse that's struggling with money gets a bonus through work, or maybe they get a job offer, or it's something tiny. We're not talking big here, okay? Something tiny that can actually really help you. And it's like a gift from the universe. It's like good luck turning in your favor. Okay, Leo, that's what this card means. And I'll try and move the camera back a little bit so you can see. So that's what this card means. It's that good luck fortune card coming in. Now, it is grounded with a card of death of Scorpio. So Scorpio could be prevalent for singles. But for me, it speaks about, you know, a shift when it comes to money. Needing to have a shift when it comes to money. Needing to manifest a shift. Seeing things from a different perspective. Because at the moment, a lot of your reading is about wealth and abundance. You have at the bottom, as you go into the next week, King of Pentacles coupled with the Four of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Or it could just be this is what you're trying to work towards, yeah? Four of Pentacles is what I like to call my Scrooge card, yeah? My Mr. Burns card for those that are Simpsons fans, where you'd watch like him hold all of his money in his hands and he was so tight. And it's quite funny because most wealthy people who have amassed a lot of wealth do so because they are very calculated in how they spend all their money, like down to each cent. Not all, most. But it's like that's the kind of energy that's around you at the moment, Leo, okay? It's this Four of Pentacles, this kind of vibe of really trying to watch what you're spending, trying to find balance in what you're doing. You know, and it's interesting because you go from the Three of Pentacles to the Four as you're going into next week. So this is why I feel like there's some sort of gift or something coming for your partner or for yourself that's going to help you financially. It's really interesting because you have Three of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles. So it's showing me this shift when it comes to your finances. And you're just one away from that Six of Pentacles, which is that even give and take reciprocity. I mean, you have that here when it comes to emotions. So it could very well be that for those that are in couples, that your partner is very fulfilling for you and brings you a lot of love and joy, but it's just that they're sucking you dry financially, and that's making you question the connection. And that's probably why you've got this card as you're coming in. Now, if you're not dealing with an earth sign, I have a Scorpio, as I've mentioned before. I also have an Aries, Sagittarius. They're the main ones that I'm picking up, because I mean, even with Aries, I mean, this is reversed, so it kind of leads me to think that it's more like just energies rather than people. But I do feel for couples that's where you're at. It's kind of like financially, one, either you or your partner are supporting each other, and your finances are being drained a lot, and either your partner's not working or they've just lost their job and you're taking it all for the other person, and you just kind of feel like, you know, when's it gonna end? And I feel like that's happening for you soon, okay? Singles, thank you for being so patient. I really like this week, okay? Because you've got the Wheel of Fortune coming in here, right? Yes, at the middle of your reading, you have the Magician, but it's in the reverse. So it speaks about someone that could be manipulative. And for couples, I think that's your partner. But for singles, I feel like you're manifesting this King of Pentacles, right? What I see for you singles is that you're actually moving away from this feeling of, you know, boredom, melancholy, average, that kind of feeling. You're moving away from manipulative people that you might have dated in the past, people that you couldn't trust. You're seeing things from a very different light, and you're having this incredible resurrection when it comes to love, okay? You've got the card of Death here. It doesn't mean a literal death. I'm not seeing that in that term at all. What I'm seeing is it's in terms of energy, you're just completely wiping out all this crap from the past, and you're wanting to manifest in this new beginning, bring this new beginning in. You're leaving all the manipulative stuff behind, and you're like, yep, all right, universe, I want my king. Bring me my king. I'm done playing with all these knights and these boys. I want my king. All girls, flip it, right? Yeah, and do you know, it's really interesting. I was mentioning this in one of the other readings, and I was saying this to one of my dear male friends the other day, and he was like, Ali, I just can't seem to manifest the right woman for me. And I said to him, and I'm like, okay, what does that right woman look like? And so then he was describing his features. And I think I've talked about this in one of the videos before, but he couldn't actually pinpoint, he couldn't tell me what he wanted from his ideal person, right? This magical, mystical person that he's trying to, you know, pull out of the ethers. And I said, well, how are you expecting to meet this person if you're not clear on exactly what it is that you want to draw in? Leo, it's not like that for you, my single Leos. You know exactly what you want to come in. You know exactly where you're going. And I feel like you're just done with the imitators, and you're ready for the real thing. And that's pretty cool, because I'm pretty sure in your last few readings, it's been a bit tough. We've talked about, you know, either sticking with your partner or having temptation, moving on if you're a couple. And now I think for singles, some of you may have already moved on, or you are very clear now on what it is you want. And if you're still in a couple, I feel like you're laying down the law and being like, either you put the effort in and sort out your shit and give and take to this relationship, or I don't want any more part of it. All right, additional guidance for singles. I didn't ask the question yet. Cheeky cards. Okay, additional guidance for singles. Leo singles in love from the 10th to the 16th of December. Please show me. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Eddie. There it is. Listen. Cool card. High Priestess for you. I was just seeing if that was already on the board. Additional guidance for couples, please. Please give me additional guidance for couples. Leo, couples in love from the 10th to the 16th of December. Awesome. Observer. Yeah. Oh, this so resonates. Very cool. Okay. Singles, 2 major arcana of the High Priestess. In this deck, it's reworded as listen. And the keywords are see, hear, sense, quiet, intuition, and knowing. All right, you ready? Take a moment to quiet your mental chatter and listen. In relationships, it's important to pay attention to what the other person is really saying. Too often in conversations, you're already planning what you're going to say while the other person is still talking. Oh my God, I'm so bad at that. You make assumptions about where the conversation is going and plan your part of the conversation accordingly, even working the conversation to a desired outcome. When this happens, you don't truly hear what the other person has said, and in doing so, you weren't present for them. Listening starts with becoming quiet, centered, and totally present. Listening involves many senses. Use your eyes to see the body language of the other person. Use your ears to hear not only the words spoken, but also the tone used to express them. Use your intuition to get a sense of what the person is really saying and feeling. Intuition often helps you hear what is not said as well as what is said. This is crucial to understanding the person or the situation. Understanding is essential to improving the relationship or situation. Remember once again to center yourself and use all of your senses to understand what is actually being communicated. Listening is a gift. Give this gift to your partner, parents, children, friends, co-workers, pets, and anyone you meet. Most important, give this gift to yourself. Tune into your mind, body, and soul. Are you listening? What do you hear? Wow, Leo, I mean, this is deep. This is exactly what I was talking about this transformation for my singles, about being really clear, about going within and listening to what it is that you want to bring in when it comes to love and intimate relationships. And there's a beautiful affirmation that goes with it. It says, I honor myself by being present and truly listening to the messages I hear. You know, it ties into what I was saying before about that friend when he was saying, oh, Ali, I just can't seem to find the right woman for me. And I was like, well, what does she look like? You know, break it down for me. And he couldn't tell me because he hadn't done this. He hadn't gone within to figure out exactly what he needed. We've just had a new moon in Sagittarius, and I'm not sure when you're watching this from, but if you haven't yet, it's the perfect time to put pen to paper and actually write down what it is that you want to attract when it comes to your, romantic relationships. And there's many different people on YouTube, on Google that you can look up about new moon manifestations. But for me, it's really simple. I light a candle, I meditate, and I write down what I'd like to achieve. I thank the universe, and then I fold up that piece of paper and I put it away. There's an invitation for you to do. Couples, observer. This is really interesting because, you know, I'm seeing that whole relationship thing come backwards and forwards in terms of money and needing to be balanced. And I feel like you're calling someone on it, right? Let me tell you what it says. Perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance, right? And what did I say about needing to get a new perspective? And you've got the Hangman here in reverse, seeing things in a different light. Maybe that's you, maybe that's your partner. It's not even, that's what I'm seeing, Leo. Relationship message. Sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely that the person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together through this matter. Take it to a higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will soon find things much more improved faster than you know. So I think this is very much talking about if I was on the money, no pun intended, if I was on the money about the financial situation, right, and it being one-sided, or even if it's not just financial, it's like in emotions and giving you space so that you can go do things without being joined at the hip or whatever it is, then, you know, it's time to voice what you need to say, what you need heard, and then sit back and watch. It'll be really interesting to see how this plays out. All right, Leo, thank you so much once again for trusting me to do your reading. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and I'll be back with you next week. Take care.